What's going on, Jerome's? After Minnesota fighting Vikings superstar receiver Justin Jefferson appeared to injure his hamstring at the end of the Chiefs game, there was hope that it would be minor and he would, sit out a game, return, and the Vikings would get their rear in gear for the stretch run, but not so much. Not so much. So, Tom Pelissero, NFL Network Go. The Vikings plan to place wide receiver Justin Jefferson on injured reserve because of the hamstring injury he suffered in Sunday's loss to Kansas City per sources. The exact timeline is TBD based on how he responds to treatment, but Jefferson is out at least 4 games. And obviously this sucks, but overall it is smart. JJ, he's ultra competitive, and sometimes you have to save players from themselves. And hamstring injuries, they got to be close to 100%. Otherwise, if you go out there and push it too hard too soon, large chance for a re-injury. And you saw Cooper Kupp basically had a stint on IR with a hamstring injury. And Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gerbschmidt, added this, blah, blah, blah. This tracks exactly with what Ken O'Connell said yesterday. Vikings protecting Jefferson from his competitive self. I just said that. And keeping him off the field until he is fully recovered. Also just said that. But very important that he added this. Also, the injury is significant. So, a lot of people were sort of pussyfooting around the truth. And Seifert's just like, putting out there. And yeah, if you're going on IR with a hamstring injury, it is pretty significant, but Seifert would also have some insight as well. So the Vikings, next 4 games at minimum would be at Bears, Niners, at Packers, and at Falcons. Now, you do kind of get the vibe that maybe this is a little bit more significant of a hamstring injury than your run-of-the-mill one. So is it possible that he misses more than 4 games? Yes. Now, we have to have a serious and honest conversation. So the trade deadline is after week 8 at the Packers, and the Vikings, they have a chance to get off the mat. Niners game is going to be tough, but you have 2 division games, and the Packers obviously losing against the Raiders. The Lions have a tough stretch of schedule coming up for a change, which is nice, and the season could easily go pear-shaped very, very quickly. If the Vikings head into the trade deadline 2-7. That might be it. Actually, no, that would be a 2-6. It may be a wrap. All right, and like we said, we do not want our team to intentionally lose games to improve draft position. And we've always said, as long as a team has breath in its lungs, as long as it's still realistically eligible for playoffs, we want them to go for that. Right, but the reality could be that the Vikings, the season could be done. And I'm the most positive Vikings purple pontificator out there, but it is what it is. And the JJ injury definitely changes the calculus, and it could be a spot where the Vikings do look to possibly convince Kirk Cousins to waive his no-trade clause and possibly look at trading guys like Daniil or Ezra or Davenport or Jordan Hicks or whatever, and it could be a wrap. Could be a wrap. But again, greatly depends on what happens these next 3 games. And the Vikings receiving depth without JJ or without him, with him in IR. You got Addison stepping up as wide receiver 1. KJ needs to get his stuff together. Powell looked good in spurts on Sunday, and then you do have the 4 on the practice squad as well. Jalen Naylor is on injured reserve. He is eligible to return, but we'll see there. And I don't know. Maybe it is time. Maybe it is time to think about a reunion with a Jordan Addison reunion with a Caleb Williams or potentially Drake May. Like, is this like when a high school recruit decides to pick his school? Is that it? I don't know, man. But of course, there's an open question of what happens with Justin Jefferson long term. JJ 2K is out the window for this year for sure, but how does this affect him signing an extension long-term here with the Vikings? Does he buy into what's going to happen with this rebuild? What does JJ want to do? I don't know. A lot of things are up in the air going forward, and it just sucks. The way the Vikings have allegedly started 1-4, the way that they've lost those 4 games, the way that they've can't get out of their own way. Again, It's not like they're getting beat by 30 points every single game. This is a good football team that just lost their best player in a time when they really needed him. But it is what it is. There you go. Anyways, your thoughts on our thoughts. Justin Jefferson placed on injured reserve. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.